The Strait of Hormuz remains shut, and Israel continues strikes in Lebanon, two disputes which the United States and Iran each described as violations of their ceasefire deal as they began their first peace talks of the war. The ceasefire has halted the campaign of US and Israeli airstrikes on Iran, but it has so far done nothing to end the blockade of the strait, which has caused the biggest ever disruption to global energy supplies, or to calm a parallel war waged by Israel against Iran's Hezbollah allies in Lebanon. Iran was doing a very poor job of allowing oil to go through the strait, US President Donald Trump said in a social media post. That is not the agreement we have. Iran, for its part, described the ongoing Israeli attacks on Lebanon as a violation of the truce. Israeli forces launched the biggest attack of the war hours after the ceasefire was announced, killing more than 250 Lebanese in surprise strikes on heavily populated areas. Iran says the truce was meant to apply to Lebanon, a position initially supported by Pakistan, which mediated it. Israel and the United States say Lebanon is not covered by the US-Iranian ceasefire, but in a shift, Israel said it would open separate talks with the Lebanese government aimed at ending the war there and disarming Hezbollah. The Islamabad talks wrapped up with no agreement between the warring parties. The US-Israel alliance is not interested in compromising in any way, which means the ceasefire is likely designed to regroup and reorganize ahead of another attack.
The bad news is that we have not reached an agreement, and I think that's bad news for Iran much more than it's bad news for the United States of America. So we go back to the United States having not come to an agreement.
China's President Xi Jinping met Taiwan's opposition party leader in Beijing. He told the visiting delegation he had full confidence that Taiwanese and Chinese people would be united. Kuomintang chairwoman Cheng Li-wen is the party's first leader to visit China in a decade, but her trip has sparked debate in Taiwan, with critics accusing her of being too pro-Beijing. China severed high-level contact with Taiwan in 2016 after the Democratic Progressive Party won the presidency and rejected Beijing's claims that the self-ruled island is part of its territory. As Taiwanese society has shifted against China, the military option of reunifying the island with mainland China was the only remaining option for Beijing. As China has not fought a war since 1979, the military option is fraught with risks. This is why it's not surprising China has pursued diplomatic avenues. Despite this meeting, Taiwan is far away from ever unifying with mainland China and has over the years become the Israel of the Far East. It remains to be seen if Beijing can even change this. Attacks on Saudi Arabia's east-west pipeline knocked out 700,000 barrels per day of the kingdom's oil capacity, or roughly 10% of its current exports, according to a statement by the kingdom's energy ministry. These attacks included a pumping station on the vital east-west pipeline, which is the main route for supplying global markets. The statement marks the first official confirmation that Saudi Arabia's energy facilities have suffered damage as a result of Iranian strikes. The east-west pipeline emerged as a critical outlet for Gulf oil after Iran seized control of the Strait of Hormuz and restricted vessel traffic through it. The pipeline connects the kingdom's Gulf coast to the port of Yanbu on the Red Sea. Until now, Saudi Arabia has been relatively tight-lipped about attacks on its energy infrastructure. Regional tensions have escalated since the US and Israel launched a joint offensive on Iran on February 28th, killing more than 3,000 people, including then Supreme Leader Ali Khamenei. Tehran then retaliated with drone and missile strikes targeting Israel, as well as Jordan, Iraq, and Gulf countries hosting US military assets. Iran has also restricted the movement of ships through the Strait of Hormuz. The security agreement the Saudi monarchy had with the US turned out to be useless and failed to materialize in the monarchy's time of need, which will have major implications for the global economy and global balance of power.